Hi everyone, Benny Greb here, and today I want to show you how to use the app GapClick, which will drastically improve your timing, your accuracy, and the ability to stay at the right tempo. So let's go. The GapClick really does two main things in one super intuitive interface. Number one, it allows you to easily set up how many bars of click you want to hear and how many bars of silence. This is powerful because it teaches you to keep the tempo and stay in time in the spaces where the click is quiet, and then gives you immediate feedback whether you were rushing or dragging when the click comes back in.
Let's not rush things.
Number two, you can use the gap section to choose displaced patterns and how often they should appear, and by that easily set the difficulty level to your preference. This serves you in two ways. Number one, it introduces you gently to how it feels and improves your ability to keep time when the click switches to a different note of the subdivision, for example, like the 8th note offbeat or the 2nd 16th. This will increase your awareness of these parts of the subdivision that we usually try to avoid. But it's exactly these little insecurities and lack of accuracy that are major sources for tempo inconsistencies and timing problems. So let's jump in right away and set up our first GapClick form. Start by picking a tempo and a groove you want to play, and first let's get comfortable by just using the GapClick as a regular metronome. For this, just set the click to quarter note and the gap to 0. If you set the gap bars to 0, the click content will just simply loop, so it doesn't matter how many bars you set for the click. Then let's put the first gap into our form by setting the click bars to 3 and the gap bars to 1, with the rest as the gap content. And just like that, you have a form of 4 bars with 3 bars of click and 1 bar of gap, or rest, as represented below in the 3 colored circles and the 1 empty one. By the way, these circles will always give you a visual representation of how you divided your form, no matter which patterns you selected in each section. Now, depending on what you play and in which tempo, this can be already pretty challenging. And by the way, don't get frustrated if you sound like this in the beginning.
All right, that's bad. Okay.
This is exactly what it will help you with. You will realize, though, that with this constant feedback, you'll be able to adjust pretty quickly. Just keep playing and diagnose if you were too early or too late. A good rule of thumb here is if the click comes in surprisingly early, I have to pick it up a notch as well. If it comes in too late, I have to relax a bit in terms of tempo as well. And then to make it even more challenging, just increase the numbers of bars of the gap. And if that isn't enough, another thing I want you to try is this. In the click content above the quarter note, you will find a quarter note with a 1 next to it. This means it will no longer play a full bar of quarter notes, but only the first one. And you know what that means, right?
I like to torture them.
Give it a try. Okay, now let's explore what we can do with the other interesting gap patterns. Again, set the click to 3 bars of quarter note, but this time 1 bar of 8th note offbeats in the gap section. This can feel quite different because it focuses your attention now on the subdivision. Normally we focus on the downbeat all the time, but how does it feel with an offbeat click? Next, you can go crazy and select, for example, the second 16th. As you become more comfortable with this, you will realize that your subdivision becomes more even and accurate. This gives your grooves a great flow and a lot of confidence. Here, the quarter note click bars can serve as your safe haven, so to speak, and the offbeat patterns as your way of stretching yourself. So I hope you got a sense of how you can use the gap click in your practicing. I really want to encourage you to try this out with everything you're practicing, whether it's the repertoire, the stuff that you can already play, you give it a little timing checkup, or you use it as a mental exercise. So you put it on your headphones while driving in a bus, and you just try to anticipate when the click comes in and you work on your timing that way. You don't need your instrument for that necessarily. But please also use it for warm-up exercises, for technical exercises. You can use it with your band when you go through a set list. So the whole band can maybe check whether they're rushing or dragging in certain parts. Use it for fills. We usually speed up in fills or when we play more busy. So why not improvise a solo with a gap click form? I can really recommend that. So no matter where you're starting out or how far you want to take this, I'm sure it will serve you well and you will see improvements pretty quickly. So if you have the app already, I hope I could give you a sense of how I use it and maybe some ideas how you can use it that you haven't tried out before. If you haven't downloaded the app, do it. It's available on iOS and Android, so check it out. There is also a link in the description below or on my website, bennygreb.com. Leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. But whatever you do, I wish you all the best and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.